Hi, Cats Creations group. So are you guys ready for 2 in the same day? Yes. We're gonna do another one. And then the custom orders for this client are finished and complete, and I can get them all shipped out. So I want to welcome you. If this is the first time here, we're doing the easel for our grapevines so you can actually see the florals. I have Steve helping me today, so we should not run into the issue we had earlier, which is my Meadow remote went to close up and I didn't catch it quick enough. Because when you're the only person here, you kind of like, it's a balance between what you're doing. So, things for me to learn in the future. So this is an 18-inch grapevine. I already cleaned this morning. We have a letter K, which is, this is a 10 by like 9.5. So client's wish list is sunflowers, burlap, monogram, grapevine, and that's it. Keeping it kind of looking rustic. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be attaching our monogram letter first so that we know where our floral needs to stop and start. Then we're going to be building the bow, just like we did earlier today. It's really good if you're a first-time person who's, working with grapevines, to put your bow in first rather than try to work around that area and add your bow last. Then we're going to add, obviously, sunflowers. We're going to try to keep it a little bit more rustic. We're not going to add in pops of blue or anything else. We'll add some white, a lot of different color greenery, and I think that's about it. So if you're a first-time viewer, come on in and say hi. Let me know where you're from. If you like this design and you want to replicate it, I would recommend sharing this to your page. Let me making sure I'm on my tablet.
Brian asks, what is the utensil used for reducing the size of boxes?
Commercial box sizer.
Box sizer.
Yeah, commercial box sizer. Okay, let me, trying to get to the public page, not the private page, getting to posts, because Facebook likes to be finicky, and here we go. All right, so that's pretty much it. The puppy paw print, Clara, we're probably going to do next week. I just have so much on my schedule for this week. So I'm trying to get everything wrapped up. So I think we're going to do that. But this is going to take the place of the private group's floral grapevine. So we're kind of bumping this one ahead. And then when we do the puppy paw print next week, Tuesday, then we'll have finished our grapevines, and then we'll be able to move on to our next wreath base. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing that I've done is I've kind of looked at where do I want to incorporate this monogram K. And most people are kind of prone to like putting it way out here. But what ends up happening is this becomes a barrier now. This becomes an obstacle. So I find that if you just move it on the inside and just have the little touches here, it creates some stability. We also have that extra leg. So just by securing it here and here, which I've done with commercial adhesive ties, I've already set the glue on that. So we're going to go ahead and wire that in. This is where this is going to sit. And because we have this extra leg with the bottom pieces, it's going to keep it from doing what happened earlier. If you watched the earlier live, yeah, it flopped this way because we had so much of it, like we were keeping the majority of the side here, and we had so much here it would just want to flop inside because there was nothing keeping it from there. So I am just going to...
Hi gals, thanks for joining. Oh, Anna sent 100 stars. Thank you, Anna.
Thanks so much, Anna.
You're awesome.
So we're just going to...
I said I've got 2 orders for monogram grapevines, but she's going to use hydrangea.
Oh, nice. Yeah, hydrangeas are a little easier. They were pretty particular about sunflowers, I think, because they were the client's wedding flower. So I've attached my pipe cleaners here. This is how it's going to go. I find that it's easier if I'm trying to attach the sign to not do it on the stand. So I'm just going to move that to the side. Kind of know where this needs to wind up, which is right about here. So this is why we clean our grapevines, is so when it comes time to feed our pipe cleaners down and through, they go through, hopefully, without any issues. Yes, I've got both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. Can they see? I think so.
I can't see the bottom side. No, I can't.
I'm trying not to drag the letter. So, okay. So we're going to let that one sit there. I'm going to move my letter K back over here. I'm going to kind of go around that pretty big branch. And then right back through the center. Got both of those. Pull those down. Flip it over. And secure this. Just like so. So I'm just going to tuck these in for now. And here is our monogram. So now it's all set and ready for us to actually go ahead and start decorating. Trying to make sure it sits on there. Let's see. It's got a big branch in the back on that one. There we go. I think that'll work. So there is how we're going to form that. The ribbon I'm going to use, because it's sunflower and we want to keep it country, is I'm going to do black and white with the sunflower. This is from Craft Outlet. So I already know what we did last time, which was we had these gorgeous long 20-inch tails. So I'm just measuring the tails out to 20 inches. Gonna use my Bodabra. So we're going to dovetail the wired edge, just like that. Measure out 20 inches. Let's push this over. Trying to do it up here. Can you see this, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, 20 inches. We're gonna pinch in, and we're gonna do 5.5-inch loops. So, making sure I'm right at 5.5. Do another at 5.5. And then the challenge becomes, do I want to introduce a burlap in here?
Valerie, we just got that letter at Hobby Lobby. We were just regular wood, so Kat painted it earlier.
Yeah. So I was looking for script Ks, but at the time when I placed my order, no one had any script Ks available. Now, of course, does Hobby Lobby have them in? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, okay. You guys are going to help.
That's an 18-inch grapevine, right?
18-inch grapevine from Joann's.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking I want to introduce this with my burlap with the sunflower in it, just kind of keeping our theme. And then I'm going to go with a black and white stripe.
Thanks, Sherry. Sherry says, love the new camera view. I haven't watched in a while.
Yeah, this one's a little bit different. It's a little hard for me because I have to keep pulling it forward. So it's good to do this when you have grapevines. So this one we're going to do 18 inches. This is going to introduce the burlap into this look. The loops are going to be 5 inches. Just like that. Flip it around. Another 5 inches. So when you do grapevines, when you're adding your bow, it's nice if you have long streamers. So I'm trying to get this out to 18 inches. So that those are going to kind of cascade down this way. I'm kind of looking at my grapevine and thinking, did I move it the right way? Because I'm looking at this, and this was where our K was supposed to be. Let me lift that real quick. I might have moved my K to the wrong way. Yes. So I'm gonna readjust my K. Because it's kind of got, it's not an oval, but then it's not a complete circular. So give me just 1 second to make those adjustments. So this, girl, is how it's supposed to go, and this is where it stops. Still have our standing point. I just need to make sure that's where it's going to go. Okay, that looks better. So let me flip this. Now, of course, because I've already worked my pipe cleaners through, they're not as, they're all like, not as straight. Okay. So let me, I was like, that just doesn't look right. And then I was fighting with that branch on the back. Okay, up, over, and then right down through the top. I was like, something
Gal's just joining in.
Does not look right. So give me just a second to rewire these in. Trying to get my pipe cleaner to stay straight. There we go. It's just curving, but I got it. Up, over. But I won't twist too much in the event that Kat needs to change it yet again. There we go. All right. Back to the bow. All right. So now I'm going to use a black and white stripe, which may not be so familiar, but for some reason, the country look with a black and white vertical stripe looks very striking on a sunflower grapevine. So these are going to be, I'm trying to think, 15. So we're going to make these 15 inches.
I'm not sure what size the letter is. I think it's
10 by 9.5. 10
inches. Yeah.
by 9.5.
There you go.
Because I just measured that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure. So if you're wondering, because it's weird, unless you know the size, you know, you could easily look at an 18-inch grapevine and think, well, 12-inch should be good. And then you don't realize how big 12 inches is on a grapevine. Okay, out to 15. We're dovetailing the ends, which is bring wired edges together. We're going to do a dovetail edge. So we're cutting from the wire, or from the fold, down to the wire point. And then the last one we're going to do is we're going to do our checkered black and white again. So I'm going to move those way out there. Just for a pop of the dramatic. And this is going to be 12-inch tail. 12. Yep. And then this is going to be a 4-inch loop. And that's where we'll stop. So right at 4 inches. And I think black and white with yellow is very eye-catching. Bring them back out to 12. Right in our sunflower. Dovetail. Those are out of the way. So now I can make a bigger mess with all the florals. So we are going to, let me grab really quick a black pipe cleaner. I have beige, but now I think about it, it doesn't work. Okay. So I'm thinking about the bow. So, bend our pipe cleaner in that U shape. We're going to be fluffing this on the grapevine. So we're going to go ahead, pull this down. Whoop. Long tails. Okay, move this to the side, making sure, because the camera is nowhere near me. We'll pull this closer. And the first thing I want to do is pull my tails down before I put it on the bow. So everything is going down, down, and right in here. I think I'm trying to think of the other one I did. I think I did 5. So this is going to be 4. So real quick, let me take this down. We're going to go ahead and kind of have a general idea. Let me work my pipe cleaner through the grapevine. This one's a bit meatier. It didn't have as much debris, but it has some very large grapevine branches in there. So I really want to make sure that we're snug. There we go. Pull it forward. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the back. Yeah, we're going to fan out the sunflower. And then because we're going checkered high here, I'm going to go the beige to the outside and the checkered down here. And then we're going to put our black and white here. And then I'm going to go opposite direction here. I need a really sturdy wreath frame because this one's kind of squirrely. Let me look. Hang on just 1 second. I'm trying. There's a big branch, and the big branch is keeping my pipe cleaner from allowing it to pull too close. So let's reposition this so we get a better grip. And I'm going to go around. Right now it's kind of going over this branch. I'm going to get it to go under. So I'm going to pull it up and drop it below. And that should give me a better grip once I get my pipe cleaner through. There we go. Tight.
Yeah, look at that one that she uses a crochet needle.
Yeah, I can get it through. It's just, I thought I could work around that existing branch and I couldn't. So now, this is where I have a lot of weight on here. There we go. See, I hate doing it that way. So I've been kind of pushing it through. So let's fluff our bow a little bit better. Let's go up high. Let's pull that all the way down. And then I know it looks a little wild right now, But what we're going to do is we're going to take our long tails and we're going to roll them up. Let's put that one over there. Roll it up just like this. I'm going to turn that one so it's going the right direction. And then we're going to grab the tails and pull them out sideways. So it's got a nice little spiral. So I'm going to show you this again. So we're going to do it with the beige. Rolling it up. Reminds me of doing hair. Grabbing our curl, pulling it from the outside. Okay. Rolling. All the way up. Grab the tail, pull. So it's got a nice little spiral. And then here, we're going to do the same thing. You're just going to spiral this down. Spiral this one down. All the way up. Pull to the outside. Do the same for our black. And then it kind of gives it a little elegant streamer. Just like that. Out to whatever side it's falling. Let's spiral this on the inside. Just like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and start adding our florals. So if you've never done a grapevine before, the one thing that I need you to focus on is you need to focus on 3 to 5 florals, major florals, big florals. So since we're doing sunflower, this is going to be our focal flower here. So I'm going to get 5 of these prepared so that these are going to go in and around our wreath. I'm just going to kind of slide them in just for looks for now. I have this whole pick. These are from Hobby Lobby. So we're going to take one. I'm just setting them in for placement. Sometimes you might want to grab all the greenery. Sometimes you might not want to use so much greenery. I'm just throwing these. I can see light. There we go. I'm just setting them in. And this one's got a small, little one, and then a big. I don't want to push that up too far. So I might want to move this one. We'll probably go up a little higher. Then we're going to go this one down a little lower. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might end up putting another smaller one up to the outside. Let's see if I can find a small one. So what I'm thinking of is maybe something will come kind of out here. Okay, so this gives me the focus. This is where your eye is going to be naturally drawn to, is your florals. But before I put these in and make them permanent, we need to green the base, which means we need to come in with our greenery, however full our greenery is going to be. And keep in mind, with our bow here, everything needs to extend out away from the wreath so that it fills in all this space and then kind of cascades back in towards the wreath. So I'm going to pull these out just so that you guys knew. Here's focal. So 3 on the top. I'm just going to set those off here. 2 to the bottom. So we're going to come in and we're going to add ficus first. you were with me earlier, you saw me use Ficus. So again, you can get these from Hobby Lobby. We're going to come in and add our greenery. I kind of want it to end right about there. So I don't need a super long pick, but when I'm adding them, they're all going to go in following the shape of our grapevine. So we know we want it to end right about there. So I'm going to take, I don't want to pull it all the way through the other side. That's kind of where we wanted it to end. We're going to do the same thing here, maybe a little bit up. Trying to get that to lay flat. There we go. Break these two so that I have smaller picks, but I'm going to go with a bigger one right here. We're going to come in here. So we're laying down some good base color around the outside. Just like that. I'm going to move my skillet closer. Move my glue gun over. I don't think I'm going to use my glue gun, but one never knows. So I'm going to just break down the rest of this ficus pick. So I have little leaves and big leaves. It's a long range. So I can move it back just a touch so I don't have to drag my picks as far. I'm going to kind of come in right about there. So I'm using one whole pick at the top. Right about there. Enter, over. Okay, other ends. I'll probably place another one right about here.
On this one also. Just got started.
Right. Okay, there's that. Trying to get this one to lay the way it should. There we go. Okay. I have a couple for the outside, which I'll show you what we're going to do with those a little bit later. So I'm going to go down and do the bottom. Want this to end right about there. So I'm looking at where do I want it to end. I'm going to go in a little bit lower. I like it to be just slightly brushing the top of the K. Okay. I think we're going to do that. We want this probably right about there. It's just unusual for me to do it on a work frame. This is my second time doing it on the frame. So I'm trying to be cognizant so I don't block your view. Kind of come in here a little bit. And then we have one more piece for the bottom. Just want to make sure our leaves are turned the right way. So we've kind of greened it up with our ficus. Like I said, we're going to do the outside pieces. We'll add some different greenery. Let me use, there's this, it's called a white seedling bush. So that's the only identifier in Hobby Lobby's world of what this is. So we're going to come in and we're going to add in some other colors. Now, if you can get about 3 different color greens in on your base, you have a really good texture going on. You have a really good balance in your colors. Let's make this one a little bit shorter. So we're going to come in right about here. See if we can get that in. Okay. That one's different. Let's see. I'm going to come in up here.
Gus said, now we have a different room of your kitchen where you can move around your home.
Right? We're going to go ahead and put this on here. Pretty soon we'll do a tour of the whole house, right? We're doing it in the bedrooms, my office. Well, you guys have seen my office. Private group people have. Because that's where we do our private group lives. So when you have your greenery, fan them out. I know that they don't always bend, but try to give them some life. We're going to come in right there. It's kind of like a puzzle in which you're filling in the gaps. So we're adding our greenery. Let's grab another piece.
Yeah, I said I really like the design. Yeah, I definitely want to make this one too.
Yeah, it's kind of crooked right now. So this is how the bush comes from Hobby Lobby, the big bush. And I'm just breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. So I'll take the top off, and I think I'm going to come in here with that. So let me go up, right in here. I'm going to add some of that. We're gonna see, now we have our bow. So see how our ficus is filling that? So now we've got to fill in here. And I'm just working my way around. So we filled the gap. So ficus is coming around. Here's our bow. Now we're gonna start working the bottom. Going to go right in here. I'm just going to pick up the bow and add some greenery up under the bow. Keep looking for the pieces I cut off, because you can generally get about 2 good sized chunks out of each branch. So making sure we're fluffing as we go. There's that. Keep moving it, see? There we go. I think that'll.
And then as Kat, does this make too much weight on one side?
No, because we're going to start balancing the floral here. So it should balance out. And this is bottom heavy, so it's actually pulling down at the bottom. It would be, I think if it was up here, it would probably want to pull here. But I've got it pretty well balanced as far as the weight goes at the bottom. So we're filling. Now we're kind of, see how there's a gap here? We're going to add here, and then we're also going to add in here. See how that fills the space that's there? There's like a disconnect, but look how nice that fills. So it's filling the nice gap. Just like that. And then one more piece towards the bottom. Right in here, we're going to fill in that gap. And then our greenery is laid in. And then we can go in and add all of our focal flowers. Just like that. Okay, what do you think so far? Looks pretty.
Yeah.
And I haven't even added the sunflowers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like little wisps of the white.
The little wisps.
Queen Anne's. Is that Queen Anne?
No, this is just called seeding bush, white seeding bush. I don't know what that is. Maybe they don't know, and so they were just like, it looks like something that seeds. Okay, so now we're going to come in and cut our stem down. You want to make sure, because you have your leaves, you can move them. So I try to make sure that I have like a little, nice little trio. And this one's going to kind of come in right about here. So I'm going to bend it, load it with glue, and it's going to go right up into my grapevine. And I'm trying not to push. There we go. So there's our sunflower. Looks nice. And then this one's going to go down. Is it going to go? Let me look. Oh, I totally forgot where we're putting it. I think it's going in here. Yeah, I like that. What do you think? You like it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get ready to give it a home. So, not too close to the other. Make sure we pull those up, and then we're going to go ahead and add our 3 to the top. We have a big and 2 mediums, so always push your greenery up. And I'm going to come in with the big one first, which is going to be right about here. Okay. Do the same here. Make sure greenery is pushed back around. I might end up getting a different one for that one. It just looks like it's kind of smudged. That's way too long. This one's going to come in right in here. Oop. Don't want it smashed, so I'm trying to bend it so that, there we go, then it doesn't look smashed. And this one now is going to bend down. Okay, and then we're going to place our other one. Let's find it. That one's a little thin. I don't like it. It never fills. I always grab the ones that have the sticker on them. Those ones just look better. Okay. So we're going to put this one off.
Thank you, Rita. Yeah, it's
to the
18-inch
side.
grapevine. She also love the sunflowers, great design.
So this one's going in the back, up at the top of our bow. So this one is going to go right in here, just like that. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Now we need to come in and add some filler. All right. So focal flowers here on our grapevine. We might, this one's got to go. Because I pulled it down. There we go. Everybody's struggling for attention. Okay. So we're going to come in and add some, let me find it. I had to move my greenery up. We're going to add.
That's one of our favorite sunflower bushes.
What?
The one that has like the dual picks.
Yes, it does. So now we're going to kind of come in and I'm looking like we're going to, I think like we need something in here with the yellow. So it's going to kind of cascade down. So let's.
I'll have to go back and watch them again. I love watching them.
Oh, thanks. So we're going to go down under here. And let's get our, I don't know what this one's called. Let me get my ficus in the back. So we can have that just kind of dropping down like that. And then we're going to put another one here. I have 3. So I have to figure out how to make that work. So I feel like we have to have one down in here, like that. Add some color there. Okay, and then we're going to do one at the top because I try to go heavy at the bottom and lighter at the top. So sometimes you get your picks and it has like extra greenery, like I don't know if the flowers fell off. A lot of times I'll take them, pull them off, and then reattach the greenery. Like just re-thread it back on so it can make it a little thicker. Add some more wispies.
Arvina, Kat's not sure what those are called.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know what they are. I'll have to look at the SKU number and see what they are. So I think we're going to take these. These are going to kind of, I'm going to come in here. I just haven't figured out how. Let's pull this forward so I'm not leaning so far forward. So I think they're gonna go, I want them to fall downward like that. So that's how that's going in. So we're gonna go ahead and glue that in place. Kind of see where it went. Let's make sure. This is what I hate, is when our floral heads come off. Now I'm trying to get it to bend into the area where I wanted it to fall. I've got one flower going one direction and the other flower going in the other. Okay, so there's that. We are also adding, oh yeah, I forgot the things you brought. Steve found some wispy, like meadow flowers. So we'll see how these work. We'll see if these work in here. Let's see. I don't want them to extend too far, so they really have to go pretty far up in here. So let me see. I like that. See how we have some wispy movement, and then we'll add some here. So we'll probably come in here and add some of this. Trying to make sure that we don't extend past our line by much. Like this can be trimmed back. Like this can be trimmed. Where's my other cutters? We'll trim that one. It has little pip berries on them. So we'll add those in. We'll add another one up and over. Like, we'll make sure they're all branched out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tips. It just looks weird when they look unfinished. Like, so.
Yeah, that is weird.
Right? So, we're gonna come in here.
Well, so they look like buttercups. They could be buttercups.
They could be. I'm gonna get that one to actually lay further down. I just have it kind of stuffed in there for now.
Carson, do you ever break the rules?
I always break the rules. Yeah. So, I mean, for the longest time, you know, I did what I liked instead of what should be, but now I'm starting to go, okay. So if we wanted things to extend beyond like this, I like having this dropped in here. So we have the movement all going this general direction. So we're gonna move these. So let's go ahead and start attaching. I'm gonna start committing. This is where I break the rules.
Hearts are good to know.
Yes.
Hearts are very pretty. I love sunflowers. I really need to make one.
Always breaking the rules, sadly. I don't always. See, like technically they shouldn't go that long, but I kind of like them to follow the direction of the streamers. Like that. We're going to make this one rotate just underneath these, and we'll fan these out so that they're kind of all going in that general direction. Let me snip these ends that are just weird. The little pip berries with no end. So yeah, definitely deviating from what should be. A lot of times I just do what I like.
Yep.
Put that one back behind there. And then I guess we need to actually put these ones in, right? Because they were just sitting there. So Let me pull all my ribbons out so we can make sure we're following our lines. See, I had this one so wedged in there. I probably could have left it in there. But we want to make sure that it has a forever home. So we're going to go up. Let me get my glue thread out of the way. I'm going to go up. Kind of like them to fall where they want to fall. If they want to be long and hanging down, so be it. Okay, so we've got to add just a pop of white in here, and then I think for the most part, I'm going to use up the rest of the ones that are in this part. Like I have a couple short little pieces. So I think I'm going to bring this piece here. Let's take that off. And as soon as I can get the giant price tag right over where my pick is. Where am I seeing it needs just a smidge? Maybe right about there. We're going to kind of come in behind our bow and just kind of fill. So we have a little bit of wispiness. There we go. Okay. Let's add some baby's breath, which can go thick or thin, just depends. So if you want it thin, you leave some of your bottom ones down. These are called push-up flowers. So you can actually push them up depending upon how thick you want them to be. And
Russell said, I just find when I'm doing grapevines, I just keep adding and adding and adding.
Here and there, I think, right?
Yeah. Chris said I like things to look like if it was real, like taking walk and seeing it in real life, there wouldn't be lines.
Right.
Right.
But neither would flowers grow on a grapevine like that either, though.
Right. That's true.
So it's like you'd have to bundle them from a garden and you'd have to put them in place. So see how just by adding that little pick right in there, it takes that white and it's popping our white up.
Rita said those make it look lighter and airier.
It does.
Rosalind's question, I have flowers sitting for a long time. How do I clean them?
So
What was that, leaf spray?
yes, I'll show you exactly what it is. There's a leaf spray. It's great for artificial plants. I have it. It's right here. Use this stuff. It's called Leaf Shine. You spray it all over your artificial florals and you don't have to wipe it off. You just let it dry. And it gets rid of all the dust and all the accumulation that pops up on your floor. What?
Almost lost connection, but reconnected. Put it back up there. Yeah, because it like froze. There it is. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
So that's what it's called. It comes in a giant can like this.
Yep.
But that's how I clean all of my, like we have a lot of artificial greenery in our home, like little potted greenery plants.
It works really well.
It really does. I would recommend go outside, spray it, and let it dry, and then you bring it in and it looks amazing.
Gloria, did you find that leaf shine online?
I found it at Shinoda.
Shinoda.
But I think you can find it at Amazon.
I was gonna say, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, you can find it at Amazon. This is called Leaf Shine. And it's the best. Like, I used to be spray, you know, with Windex, a rag, clean all the ain't no one got time for that.
Yeah. Chrysal, CHRYSAL Leaf Shine.
Mm-hmm.
15 ounces for like $13.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Leaf Shine.
Leaf Shine on Amazon.
Okay, so I'm just adding, like I added our white here. I'm going to add some right in here.
See all the Greek tips?
Right. So we're just, I think this is Hobby Lobby's Artificial Baby's Breath. Let's push this one up so we have a little thicker piece. I think I want to bring in down in here, and I think I'm going to do a smaller piece here. We're getting to the end. So I'm just all about spreading those apart, making sure our floral still pops. We have movement. It looks amazing. And we'll grab another small cluster. Sometimes you got to pay attention to what you're doing. So I'm going to bring those in right here. Okay, so we're adding filler. I keep flicking glue strings everywhere. I keep taking it and recycling it, throwing it back in my glue pot, which is so nice to do. And we're gonna add a couple more pieces. I'm feeling it like right in here. Like, see how that just fills that hole? There's like a hole. So I'm trying not to crowd it. Pull that off. And then one right in the middle. And I think I'm done. And then I'll show you what we do for the sides. Because I got asked that question the last time. Someone's like, let me see the sides. And actually, the sides look amazing because we've been extending everything up and out.
So it looks like a field on wildflowers with sunflowers. Love it. Yeah.
And that's kind of, and see how by putting the bow in first, we don't have to fight with the loops, and they're kind of, even the tails are kind of cascading through our greenery. So let's get this actually sitting where it needs to be. So see, that's just sitting. So it's not weighted to where it's pulling down, but let's look at the sides. Because that's what everyone always says. What about the sides? Well, what about the sides? This is what we can do. We have all the leftover ficus. So we can go a little closer to the outside. Whoop. That didn't even hit the glue. going to go ahead and extend these. We'll extend another one. Can you see that, Steve? What I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're kind of filling the side. Not that you need to do it. Some people are just like, well, what about the sides? Well, they're covered. Everything's covered. Even looking at it from here, it's completely covered. And I think I have one more piece. And then you can add this in right here. So that's kind of covered. And then if you want, sometimes you have a lot of these little wispy pieces left. They're just like little individual picks. You can just slide them in. And I'm just filling in between, right in here. So we're kind of filling the sides. Right in there. Okay, and if you look at the back, I think I have like one pick that just barely came through. And we will trim that up before it goes. So there's the top. This side is all done. So what I'm saying is I just have the one right here. There's that, and I have another one. Old broken branch, which I don't like. There we go. Okay. Flipping it back around. What do you guys think? Do you like? Super simple, right? Nice little cute country. Do you think we hit the profile for country, rustic? Take these and pull the green back so it's not quite there, but yeah, I love it. It's absolutely adorable, and it can be time consuming to add the florals, but it's just because I think I need a sturdier frame so that I can really reach in there and just really push on the grapevine. This thin stand, not sturdy enough to do that. And there is our bow. All set, all ready to go. What do you guys think? What questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? There we go. I'm trying to make sure it's straight.
Waiting. Yeah, they can see that perfectly.
Okay, awesome. So that one's all done.
Rosalind said country charm. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
You could make it and offer it as a monogram if they want.
Yes.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could.
Or I would switch out the monogram for a sign too.
Yeah. You could easily put a small little sunflower welcome sign here. You could take the K completely off and it would still look amazing too. But that's the way it is. I'm going to leave it like that till we get photos. But yes, the customer, like, I'll make sure that the pipe cleaners are not lost in the event they want to take this off. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they just don't want the K on it.
Oh, I was wondering, this is a good question. Or Clara asked, would lamb's ear...
yeah, lamb's ear would have gone really well.
Yeah, with this design.
Yeah, I think when I'm seeing lamb's ear, it's more of a sage color. And with the sunflowers, I kind of felt like it was more of a summer color. So when I think summer, I think brights. And so I gravitate to dark Kelly greens.
Well, I was gonna ask, can you zoom in the wall on the purple wreath?
Oh, yeah. The one that defies the rules. So yeah, you can put that one in front.
I don't think they can see it. Yeah.
Like this one.
Yeah.
So, yep. That one defies the rules a little bit. So I'm trying to make these a little bit more flowy, not so compact. There's two different types of florals. One in which the florals are packed heavily on the grapevine. And those are for customers who don't want what we call sprays, like floral sprays going everywhere. They want everything kind of compacted to the wreath, because that's their preference. So make sure if you're doing a custom order on florals, send them pictures if they're not sure. Like, well, I'm just trusting your best judgment. Send them photos and say, what about this? What about this? What about this? This is what I'm seeing. Are we kind of like on the same path here? That way, the customer's not totally shocked when you send them a picture of this and maybe they were looking for something a little bit more compacted.
This one's already purchased because this was a custom order. So
yeah.
She asked, how much would you sell this for?
This one is $100, and then it is actually going to Michigan, so it's a $45 ship. So the customer knew. She already told me, she goes, I know where you are and where we are. I need you to verify shipping and give me the shipping costs. And I'm like, oh man, that's like really high shipping for me. And that's still FedEx shipping. But they're Mother's Day gifts, so it's kind of nice because the customer is going to be able to use the YouTube videos to show each of her daughters that their design from conception to completion, how it was all kind of put together. It's kind of a nice little extra bonus, I guess.
Yeah. Jeanette, I don't know where we got the art easels. We've had them for a long time. I think it was in that stash. Right?
Yeah, Amazon has them, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, anyone has them. I would recommend though, I want to say, is it Susie's Wreaths that does the easel that's wood and it folds flat? That would probably be my recommendation since it's already built. You don't have to do anything to it. I would just want something way sturdier. But because we're... Huh?
I could make you one if you want.
Yeah, Steve will probably make one, but I need it sturdy, but I also need it to fold flat because storage is everything for us wreath makers. But if you guys are interested in something like this, you can email me at info@KatsCreationsNMore.com if you want one for you. We can definitely do it. And if you don't want monogram, you don't have to have monogram. If you want a sign, we can put a sign on it. I love custom orders because it allows me to really work around a client's vision. Like, this is what they think. And then when you give them the end picture, they're just like so blown away in a good way. That it's like, wow, this is better than I would have ever imagined. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Have an amazing day. Join me Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, same time that we went today. And we're doing patriotic grapevines. So we're going to be doing a patriotic floral grapevine. And then on Sunday, we're doing a tea-stained American flag floral grapevine. So it's all patriotic grapevines this weekend.
I think that's probably the last question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do a round side, what size would you do? 8-inch, huh?
10-inch would be like the max that I could go. Like, let me show you guys what we did earlier to show you what a sign on a grapevine looks like. Instead of...
Oh, please.
Oh, please. So I haven't had an opportunity to box it up, but this is the one we did earlier with a sign. And so, you got that one? This is the one with a 10-inch round sunflowers. And they wanted blue and yellow with a welcome. So this was their preference for this. And these are both 18-inch. They're both just done differently. So this is about the size that I would recommend that you go. And then you can still see it's a grapevine, so it's kind of a nice look. All right, everyone, that should be it, right?
Leon says Susie makes 2 different kinds of floral model and a tabletop. She said, love mine, and it does fold
It does fold flat.
Oh.
Fold flat. Fold flat. Yes,
It
it does fold flat. Good. Okay.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you very much for that. All right, everyone, have an amazing night. I'll see you Friday, and we'll make a patriotic floral one. Have a great weekend, everyone.